Hey James, I just got back from a trip to a foreign country.
Wow, that's exciting. Which country did you visit?
I went to Japan.
That's amazing. How was your trip? Did you have a good time?
Yes, it was incredible. The culture, the food, the people, everything was so different from what I'm used to.
I can imagine. What were some of the highlights of your trip?
Well, I visited Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka. In Tokyo, I went to the famous Shibuya crossing and explored the vibrant Harajuku district. In Kyoto, I saw beautiful temples and experienced a traditional tea ceremony. And in Osaka, I tried delicious street food in the Dotonbori area.
That sounds amazing. I've always wanted to visit Japan. What was the food like?
The food was amazing. I tried sushi, ramen, tempura, and even some exotic dishes like takoyaki and okonomiyaki. The flavors were so different from what I'm used to, but I loved it all.
That's awesome. Did you face any language barriers during your trip?
Yes, a little bit. While some people spoke English, many locals spoke Japanese. But I learned some basic Japanese phrases before my trip, which helped me get around and communicate with people. People were generally friendly and helpful.
That's great. It's always helpful to know some basic phrases when traveling to a foreign country. Did you experience any culture shock?
Yes, I did. The Japanese culture is very unique and different from what I'm used to. For example, the bowing as a form of greeting, the strict adherence to social norms, and the emphasis on politeness and respect. But I found it fascinating and tried my best to adapt and show respect for their customs.
It's great that you were open to experiencing and appreciating a different culture. Did you do any other activities during your trip?
Yes, I did. I visited some traditional Japanese gardens, attended a traditional tea ceremony, and even tried my hand at origami. I also took a day trip to Mount Fuji and went on a hike, which was an amazing experience.
That sounds incredible. I'm so glad you had such a fulfilling trip. Did you face any challenges during your trip?
Yes, there were some challenges. Apart from the language barrier, getting used to the public transportation system in Japan was a bit tricky at first. But with some help from friendly locals, I managed to figure it out.
That's great. It's always good to have some local guidance when navigating a foreign country. Did you make any new friends during your trip?
Yes, I did. I met some other travelers at hostels and joined a few group tours, which allowed me to make some new friends from around the world. It was a fun and enriching experience.
That's awesome. It's great to connect with people from different cultures and make new friends while traveling. Did you bring back any souvenirs from Japan?
Yes, I did. I bought some traditional Japanese souvenirs like a kimono, a set of chopsticks, and some local snacks to share with my family and friends back home.
That's so thoughtful. I'm sure your loved ones will appreciate the unique gifts from Japan. Would you like to visit Japan again in the future?
Definitely. I fell in love with Japan and its culture, and I would love to visit again in the future. There's still so much more I want to explore and experience there.
I can totally understand why. It sounds like an amazing trip. I'm glad you had a great time in Japan.
Thank you. It was truly an unforgettable experience. I highly recommend visiting Japan to anyone who gets the chance.
I'll definitely add it to my travel bucket list. Thanks for sharing your travel stories with me, Sarah.
You're welcome, James. It was my pleasure. If you have any questions about traveling to a foreign country, feel free to ask me anytime.
I definitely will. Thanks again, Sarah. Safe travels until your next adventure.
Thank you, James. Take care and see you soon.
Hi, have you ever been to a foreign country before?
Yes, I have. I went to France last year for vacation.
Wow, that sounds amazing. What was your favorite part of the trip?
I really loved seeing the Eiffel Tower. It was so tall and beautiful. I also enjoyed trying all the different types of food there.
That's so cool. Did you have any trouble communicating with the locals since they speak a different language?
Actually, I did have some trouble at first. I don't speak French very well, so I had trouble ordering food and asking for directions. But a lot of people there speak English too, so I was able to get by.
That's good to hear. I've never been to a foreign country before, but I'm thinking about going to Japan someday.
Japan sounds like an awesome place to visit. What do you want to see there?
I really want to see the cherry blossom trees in bloom. I've seen pictures online, and they look so beautiful.
Oh, I've heard about those. They're called sakura trees, right?
Yes, that's right. Have you ever been to Japan?
No, I haven't. But I've heard that it's a very clean and organized country. The people there are also very polite.
Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I'm a little nervous about the language barrier though. I don't speak any Japanese at all.
Don't worry too much about that. You can always learn some basic phrases before you go, like hello and thank you. And a lot of places in Japan have signs and information in English too.
That's a good idea. I'll have to start practicing my Japanese. Do you have any other recommendations for things to see or do in Japan?
Well, there's Tokyo Disneyland, which is supposed to be really fun. And Kyoto has a lot of beautiful temples and shrines. And of course, you can't forget about the food. There's so much delicious Japanese food to try.
That all sounds amazing. I can't wait to go.
I'm sure you'll have a great time. Just remember to bring comfortable walking shoes, because you'll be doing a lot of walking.
Thanks for the tip. I'll make sure to pack accordingly. I'm really excited for this trip now.
I'm excited for you too. Traveling to a foreign country is such a fun and rewarding experience. You'll learn so much about different cultures and ways of life.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think it will be a great opportunity to broaden my horizons.
Absolutely. And the best part is, you don't have to go too far to experience a foreign country. There are plenty of interesting places to visit right here in the United States too.
That's true. Have you ever been to any foreign countries in North America?
Yes, I've been to Mexico a few times. It's a really beautiful country with a rich culture and history.
That sounds interesting. What did you like best about Mexico?
I loved the food, of course. Tacos, burritos, and quesadillas are all staples of Mexican cuisine. I also enjoyed learning about the Aztec and Mayan civilizations, which have left a lasting impact on Mexico's art, architecture, and traditions.
Wow, that sounds fascinating. I've always been interested in history too. Maybe I'll have to add Mexico to my travel bucket list.
You should definitely consider it. There are so many amazing places to visit in Mexico, from the beaches of Cancun to the pyramids of Teotihuacan.
Thanks for the recommendation. I'll have to do some research and see what other countries I want to add to my travel list.
You're welcome. Traveling is a great way to expand your knowledge and understanding of the world. I'm sure you'll have many unforgettable experiences on your future trips.
I hope so. It's always been a dream of mine to travel the world and see new things.
And with a positive attitude and a willingness to learn, anything is possible. I wish you the best of luck on your future travels.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your encouragement and support.
No problem at all. I'm happy to help in any way I can. Good luck and safe travels.
Hey Sarah, I just got back from my trip to Japan.
Wow, that's amazing. How was it?
It was incredible. The food was amazing, the people were so friendly, and the scenery was breathtaking. It was definitely one of the best trips I've ever taken.
That sounds wonderful. What were some of the highlights of your trip?
Well, I went to Tokyo and visited some of the famous landmarks like the Tokyo Tower and the Imperial Palace. Tokyo is such a vibrant and bustling city with so much to see and do. I also visited Kyoto and saw the beautiful temples there. It was really interesting to learn about the history and culture of Japan.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Was it difficult to get around since you don't speak Japanese?
Actually, it wasn't too bad. Most of the signs and menus had English translations, and many people there spoke at least some English. Plus, I downloaded a translation app on my phone, which was really helpful. The public transportation system is also very efficient and easy to use, so I was able to get around without any problems.
That's good to know. Did you try any new foods while you were there?
Oh yes, I tried so many new things. Sushi, tempura, ramen, udon, and I even had some matcha-flavored ice cream, which was really interesting. The food in Japan is just so different from what I'm used to, but it was all so delicious.
Yum, that all sounds delicious. Did you do any shopping while you were there?
Yes, I did. I found some really cool souvenirs to bring back home, like some traditional Japanese pottery and some cute stationery. There were also a lot of great shopping districts in Tokyo where I was able to buy some clothes and accessories.
That's great. Did you meet any interesting people on your trip?
I did, actually. I met some locals who showed me around and even invited me to a traditional tea ceremony. It was such a unique and special experience. I also met some other travelers from around the world and got to exchange stories and travel tips with them.
Wow, that sounds incredible. I'm so glad you had a great time in Japan. Do you think you'll go back someday?
Absolutely. There's still so much more of Japan that I want to explore, like Hokkaido in the north and Okinawa in the south. Plus, I just really fell in love with the country and the culture. I think I'll definitely go back someday.
That's great to hear. I've always wanted to visit Japan too, so maybe we can plan a trip together sometime.
That would be awesome. I think you would really enjoy it. There's just so much to see and do, and I think you would love the food.
I'm sure I would. Thanks for sharing your experiences with me, Tom. It sounds like you had an amazing trip.